Thank you for joining us. This is the Veterans in Politics Candidate Endorsement Interviews. And I am Mack Miller, your moderator. I would like to let you know that I have no bearing whatsoever on the vote. I am a non-voting member here at the panel and have no endorsement authority whatsoever. We'd also like to thank you for being here. Ms. Trish Marsh, running for Cobb County Commissioner, District E. We'd also like to thank our panel members for being here this afternoon as well. And importantly, we'd also like to thank our sponsors.
All right, turn that microphone that way. There you go. Sorry.
We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Ron Q for Clark County Treasurer, Michael Broadway Real Estate, Real Water, and Lakeside Business Suites. We'd like to start by offering you 2 minutes to let the panel know why they should vote to endorse you for your candidacy.
Okay.
Microphone.
Well,
There you go.
not loud enough. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I don't think you want me on the microphone.
It goes into the feed.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just talk like a normal
Thank you,
person.
Robert. Okay, yeah, good afternoon. I am Trish Marsh, and I am running for the County Commission seat in District D. And the reason I'm running is because today we need some changes on that commission. It's been 20 years of straight Democrats. And quite frankly, we've had a lot of yes happening, and we need to change that. We need some people that are literally going to get in there, chop up that budget, rip it apart, and change some things. We've got programs and different things that are happening within the budget that are ineffective, no longer working for our community, for our taxpayers, for you and I. And I'm sick and tired of it. I have a 16-year-old daughter now, and she is our next generation. I have to be out there to help our next generation. I could have run for a Senate seat just as I did, and losing by 2,000, 6, 7 years ago, and in a totally Democrat neighborhood. And I said, no, let's go on the county level this time. This time we're gonna run for the county commission. We need to change things on a county level.
Opening up the questions to the panel, please state your name before your question.
Robert Foust, U.S. Army, member of VIPI. So, Trish, can you give us a brief description of what District E is? And then again, could you also give us a little brief on what do you think is the biggest problem in your district and what are you going to do about it?
Excellent question. Okay, District D is, you consider the southeast side of town, which is UNLV area. Okay, but go up a little further to Spring Mountain. If you take Spring Mountain over to Russell Road, all the way down, chopping apart about the Galleria Mall and down into Hollywood. The other side of the mountain. I'm on this side of the mountain right now, but the other side of the mountain. And then bring that Hollywood all the way over to Charleston and back up to Valley View, Spring Mountain area. So that is the district area. It consists of, at one point, it was 128,000 registered voters. Now, today, as they purged, April 15th, tax day, they purged it and it turned into 118,000 registered voters. Now, it's split up in the numbers. Would you like me to go into that, Robert, for you, the numbers?
Fine.
Okay.
What's the problem that you see there?
Okay, when I'm out and I'm talking with my constituents and the businesses, and businesses is what I'm all about, they're telling me that they have a huge problem with our homeless, huge, the vagrants. And I see it every day. I take my daughter to school, and I see them, they're hanging out on everybody's doorstep. What to do? Quite frankly, I don't know. Nobody does. Nobody wants to address the problem. However, there was something that I posted the other day on my Facebook page, which was something, it's a model, if you will, like a computer-generated 3D type of image, and a very large scale. And it designs homes, and this is being done outside of our United States. They're designing these homes, and it literally an arm that moves around and it builds a home. And it would be kind of nice if we would be able to attempt to find the funding and design programs around building something to this effect. You know, I don't know that it's a possibility. We have to rip apart the budget and determine what we can do, you know, but it's a thought. And then of course we have Alan, who does the veterans, you know, the veterans groups, the housing. I think he's doing a fabulous job. So, you know, in talking with him, he's saying that he gets more support through the city versus the county. Timed.
Go ahead.
Hey there, thank you for coming. I'm just curious of what your knowledge is about how much oversight over CCSD does the county commission have, and where you see the county commission being involved in the school district.
I love that. County commission really doesn't have a lot of involvement, to my knowledge, with the school district, other than to fund certain things within the school district, the programs. I would love to be one of those to get in within the school district. I have some real issues personally, because I too have a child in the system, and I see what they're doing to our children, and they're not teaching them the Constitution of the United States. They're not telling them to stand up, you know, pledge allegiance to our flag, which I did every morning in school. I see a lot of problems. When it comes to funding as a county commissioner, yes, funding would be there for the schools, but right now we have more issues going on with our policing. And so I would say, for instance, like the stadium bill. The stadium is going to bring so many problems to our state. And the influx of the individuals that are going to come in are going to create a huge problem for our officers. Now, originally it was supposed to be designated, the funding, you know, the tax dollars to 300, to bringing in 300 officers for this stadium. Well, then all of a sudden, my opponents would like it to go to our schools. We need to find other avenues to find some funding for the schools, because the stadium is going to create more problems. We need to take care of our people first and make sure that our people are safe. And that stadium, with its parking issues, the influx of people, we're going to have more problems than we know what to do with if we don't start putting some more officers out there.
Troy Warren, VIP member. So I'm a native of the east side. Okay, been working with Kirkpatrick and Mr. McKilliani, because that whole east side is kind of split between them. We've been considered the redheaded stepchildren of this valley since before my parents moved up there in 1962. We have a lot of issues with our parks, our rec centers, our streets. So kind of twofold, what are your plans, one, to fix some of the infrastructure stuff, streets, parks, and things of that nature?
Well, let's start about Eastern. They've ripped that thing up and they've made that street worse. They rip it up and they made it worse. It makes no sense to me. They don't even finish the project. So let's get in there and finish the project before you start another one. Let's make sure that it's done properly. You know, there's funding for it. It's already dedicated to go to that particular road. And if you will, it isn't. It's taking forever. And of course, when they chop it up worse, and it's no better than it was yesterday. So, you know, basically, it comes down to funding. The more funding and making sure it's done right. You've got to get the right contractors doing their jobs, and then to oversee those jobs. And as a county commissioner, you know, we only get to vote on, you know, who does the work. It's the you know, Public Works and all of the other individuals within the system that have to go out there and maintain that those, you know, people are doing their jobs. You just have to be sure that those people are doing their jobs. So we have to make the county accountable for those particular assignments. And, I don't know that it's being done because I agree totally. I don't know that it's being done because I see the botched up problems, so.
Hey, thanks for coming here today. My name is McDonald, Veterans and Politics Legislative Council, Families, Civil Liberties Union, Restoring Freedom. I have a question in regards to a follow-up for the homeless. One of the leading causes of homelessness is the destruction of family. When these homeless people do not have family, it's the leading cause of anxiety, depression, mental illness, criminal history, drug use, teen pregnancy. All these issues are stemming because of our family courts. Now, what I would like, I don't know if you're aware that the city of Las Vegas implemented a $5.1 million project over my foremaster to have kind of a tiny homes village where they are going to have services. If elected, would you put in some kind of place where homeless can go there, get services, help support family?
Absolutely. I'm an advocate to try to help our homeless situation, most definitely. Now, the city of Las Vegas is doing fabulous work trying to fix that problem. The county level, no, they're not. And that's the reason why I'm doing this today, because I am a 55-year resident. And I have designed programs and implemented programs for the Multiple Sclerosis Society and the Easter Seal Society. I understand individuals with disabilities, and it's extremely important in my world to be sure that we help those individuals, not just with multiple sclerosis or disabilities of that sort. I'm talking PTSD, our veterans. I'm one of those that I'm out there and I'm visiting my veterans day after day. I just gotten thrown out of a place because I wanted to go have a coffee with my veterans, and it turned out to be a Democrat event, and I got thrown out. The gentleman, very nice, but he said, "You're not supposed to be here." And I said, "Why? I just wanted to have coffee with my vets." So I'm one of those that I'm going to do for our people the best job possible. And so that's why I'm asking you to give me a chance. Again, 20 years of individuals on the commission that are just a yes group. They're not finding the programs or implementing or designing the programs, and I just got the mic.
So I've got a follow-up question I used to work in city and business licensing and planning, and one of the things that I saw is the multi-jurisdictional licensing. There's so much that the business owners are being taxed to the hilt. I mean, you have to get a license for the city, the jurisdictions of the county. We should be making business easier to do for our small, large, medium businesses, so we get a lot more economic growth. Would you support, and also lowering taxes on our businesses, our business owners, and for programs such as veterans that are on the streets, that Veterans Village, having something like that in the county level to address those issues with mental illness and stuff?
Absolutely, and like I said before, I'm one to try to find, alternatives for our individuals out there. I want to bring programs, so I will work with all of the townships in order to bring those programs to our community, because it's imperative that we make some changes. We start finding what we can do. We have to. You can't sit there and let it go away any longer. It won't. It's just getting progressively worse.
So one of the issues we have up there, among a lot of other things, now there's a group of individuals wanting to create a city on the east side. And we've had some very big meetings up there with Ms. June Kiliani and Mr. Patrick. I'm against it. I'm kind of curious about, okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Wholeheartedly.
And because it just added another layer of government as far as I'm concerned, but could you speak to that and why you're against it?
Okay, the reason I'm against it, one, is it's going to cost them a fortune. You can't just arbitrarily go out there and design your own little city. It just doesn't happen. You've got to institute your own fire department, your own policing, your own public works, your own everything. I mean, then you're going to have to go to those individuals and collect the taxes, and then your own trash. My goodness gracious, you're no longer part of that trash group. that's within the Clark County or in the city. You're no longer. You're your own people. And you're talking millions and millions of dollars that they would have to come up with. They don't have it. It's just not there. You know, they're grasping at straws, quite honestly. There's no money there for them to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about just your background that would make you qualified, make you good for this position?
Okay. My college background consists of the criminal justice and parole and probation, so I'm very comfortable, you know, talking about that in the legal field. Also, I have the real estate background. I went to the Diorio School of Real Estate. I never furthered anything in the real estate area, but I do have that background as well, so I'm comfortable knowing county codes and laws. Again, multiple sclerosis and Easter seals. I designed and implemented programs statewide for them, as well as fundraise for them, and you know, wrote the grants. I'm a grant writer as well. Haven't done it in a long time. Quite honestly, I'd like to find out who in the county are grant writers, because we need a little bit more done in that area. I also have, you know, in the private sector, I was running money via armored car into the, in the private sector, to the Federal Reserve banks, and that was about 16 years worth. So I used to pack a weapon every once in a while. And, you know, recently been retired, so.
Robert Foust, Veterans in Politics, you former U.S. Army. Where are you on ESAs, which is the school voucher for people that want to send their children to private school? Where are you on that?
Absolutely, a choice. It's your choice. If I had found a private school system that I could have sent my daughter to, that I felt comfortable with, I would have done so. But currently I felt that, you know what, I'll just go ahead and keep her within our public school system. And I can monitor her on my own and help to teach her on my own. And quite honestly, my daughter's learning a little bit more about a lot of different things from Mama when I'm running for the county commission. You know, I have to tell you a cute little story. Back a few weeks ago, we were over with her girlfriends. We had a group of about 6 little girls, and we're at IHOP and having pancakes, great time. And then all of a sudden they start talking about what was going on at school and what the teachers are talking about. And of course, me being a staunch Republican that I am, and very boisterous, so to speak, they start talking about certain individuals that they are told to write down that are good people. And I went, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And without going into a real big discussion about that, I about threw a fit and I said, haven't the teachers taught you anything about the Constitution of the United States? And then it also goes back to, you know, we lost all of these wonderful children, and our children in the public school system were sent outside to observe whatever, 21 minutes. And I had told my daughter, you just stay in that classroom. If you do not want to go out there and observe and understand why they're going out there to observe it, you stay in the classroom. Well, she said to me, Mom, they wouldn't let me. They made me go out to the street. Oh my God, I threw a fit. I said, you know, any bad guy can sit over there on top of that building and fire shots into the school, right into the parking lot, and our children are sitting ducks. Boy, was I angry. Well, anyway, let's go back to the time.
I'm actually good.
Are there any further questions from the panel?
Let me finish that story then.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you can cut me off, but I gotta finish the story. You can't leave them in limbo, my dear.
They're going to have to be left in limbo for the purposes of this interview. So we'd like to thank you, Ms. Marsh, for coming out and sitting for the interview.
I'll tell you guys later.
That would be Trish Marsh for Clark County Commissioner, District E. We'd also like to thank our panel members for being here this afternoon. And also, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Ron Q for Clark County Treasurer, Michael Broadway, Real Estate, Real Water, and Lakeside Business Suites. I am Mack Miller. I've been your moderator, and I am a candidate for Nevada Assembly And I'd like to remind everyone that I am not a voting member of this panel and have no bearing on the endorsements that they choose to vote for or against any candidate. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen.